I made my lizard giant Madagascar day gecko. Yeah, right? Pretty good. Okay, I don't know if adults are supposed to be this excited about toys that they made of their own pets, but we're hitting pretty high levels today. I crocheted my gecko. So today I'm just going to tell you a little bit about the design, how I made it, a few extra instructions for if you want to make one for yourself, and the full free pattern is there on the Lucy Kate Crochet website with written instructions. I'll pop a link down below for you, just click on that and you'll see the whole thing on the website. But yeah, so let's have a little bit of a chat about this little girl. This is really exciting for me for several reasons, but one of them is quite simply that I had this psychological block about making my own reptiles into crochet toys. I was kind of freaking myself out about the shapes and how they were slightly different to mammalian shapes and how I wouldn't be able to sort of get the look down in the same way. But I think that it's come together really well and I'm really pleased with what I've done. And the other thing is day geckos aren't really handable pets. Day geckos are super dramatic about things that they don't like. They don't only lose their tails like a lot of geckos do that you probably are familiar with as a defense mechanism, but they can actually do something called slothing their skin, where they literally drop a layer of skin, and that is as gross as it sounds and undoubtedly painful to them and something that I really want to avoid. They're very much more observational than interactive as pets go, which is one of the reasons that it's so cool to have a toy of one of them, because I can do this with my bearded dragon. I can't do this with my day geckos, but I can do it with her. So my day gecko, my Madagascar giant day gecko, this type of day gecko, is called Sisu, named after the rare and the dragon. So I might accidentally call it Sisu, that's why I'm telling you. So the first and most important thing for me was getting that body shape and face shape right, and this particular crochet pattern is made from the nose. Ooh, I can put in little photos for you to show you what I'm chatting about. The main bulk of this toy is made in one piece, so from the nose, from the magic circle of the nose all the way to the tip of the tail, that's all one piece down the middle there. And then I worked that piece with magic circles with standard increases and decreases, but then some separate partial increases and decreases to get that defined shape of the head and neck. And what I tell you to do, which I did as I made the instruction, is to stitch mark, and I'd say use a bit of yarn rather than a thick stitch marker so you don't make a lump in your stitches, just in the top of the head at the point where it's noted in the instructions for the pattern. And then what that will enable you to do is to see where exactly the crown of the forehead is, and then put your eyes into either side of that. Now I chose these slightly big eyes and I gave them definition by sewing just 2 strands of the same colour yarn over the top of the eye there, and it gives this sort of more ridged eye effect, which is like what the actual gecko has. Now my day gecko has an adorable tiny heart on her forehead, which is one of many adorable things about her. What I have done with this is, rather than give it the actual heart, because I thought that would make it more toy and less real, even though the real one does have the heart, it seemed like more of a gimmick thing, so I didn't want to do that. So I've just sort of nodded towards it with these sort of little red stylized eyebrows and a little bit of marking in front there. And then all giant Madagascar day geckos have this line from the inside of their eye along to the nose there. And what that also did was it also helped to give more of the impression of this straightforward nose as well. And it decreases, as I said, after the neck, and then we come an increase slightly for the body and then decrease in stages down to the tail. Now in hindsight I actually think it looks like this little girl's lost the end of her tail. I think if you are going to make this up, maybe you can make it a few rounds longer at the end, and that would still give a really nice impression, and in fact probably one that's slightly more accurate to the actual animal. For the markings along the back, this is just sewn, so you need a tapestry needle or a yarn needle and your bright red colour, and you're just going to go backwards and forwards 1 or 2 times with the yarn in and out through the stitches, and if you lie them between the rows then it sits nice and neatly within the pattern there. One of the most amazing things about day geckos is their feet that stick onto the glass as they climb up, and so I really wanted to exaggerate these little toes, and to do that I have made them from a central magic circle with chains coming out, and then a single crochet into that chain, and then a slip stitch, and then a slip stitch into the magic circle itself before coming out and repeating the pattern. And we've gone all the way around all 4 feet for that in that style. And then these little arms are just tubes, but instead of stuffing them with toy stuffing, you're going to fill them with bent pipe cleaners. So when you use pipe cleaners, bend the end of the pipe cleaner so that it's not prickly on your fingers, and you can pop them inside, and that means that you can position these legs in this lovely, very gecko-y manner as it goes along there. So I love this because I love my day gecko, but I'm also really excited about the possibility for making the rest of my reptiles now. So somebody that I would really, really like to be able to crochet is this little girl. Her intricate pattern, and she's got a lot of genetics that make her sort of stand out in a slightly unusual way. I'm going to struggle, I think, to really recreate that without an insane number of colour changes or pattern changes. But what I thought I might do instead, and I really value your guys' thoughts about this, is use a variegated yarn. So yarn that's got some sort of pattern built into it. I've just woken her up. She's I mean, they are like jokingly called pet rocks because they're quite chill, but she is normally more active than this, but they're nocturnal. I fished her out asleep, which I don't think you're overly impressed, are you, Penny? Or little tongue flick for me, that's nice. But yeah, so I'd be really interested in your thoughts on how that would go and how that would look. I mean, have you ever crocheted something that's got an interesting pattern? Is that something you'd be interested in seeing me have a go with? Let me know. Anyway, I really hope that you enjoyed seeing my crochet day gecko, and let me know if you'd like to see some more of my reptiles crocheted. They really are fantastic pets and super cute toys, I reckon, if you can get it right. So let me know, let's chat in the comments below. I made my day gecko.